First graders. All right, are you ready? We are going to make our own paper, and it's going to be full of texture, which is like my favorite thing, unless you mix it with overlapping, and then it's like all my favorite things, minus cheeseburgers and stuff like that. Anyway, texture, right? Texture is something that you can feel, like you can feel your own hair, your face, maybe the table or the chair you're sitting in. How about your shirt? Is it soft? Is it scratchy? Sometimes there's an itchy tag in the back. But here's a list of some that I made. Things that are soft, like a cat. Smooth, like a mirror, like if you go touch a mirror, the bathroom mirror. And something that's rough. I mean, there's rough everywhere. You could just go out and touch your driveway. That's rough. And it's also bumpy. If it rains out, now you got a wet, rough, and bumpy driveway. That's a lot of textures that can happen just in one space. And not only, I wrote squishy too, and then dry, like chalk, really dry. Some people don't like that feeling on their fingers, like a really dry clay can dry up on your fingers. So textures are all around us, and it's not like you have to walk around and just keep touching everything to know that it's a texture. You can see it. Like you can see a soft cat fur. You can see the bumpy, rough driveway. So seeing the texture in art is what we really want to learn to do. Because if you go to a museum and you just start touching all the paintings and the sculptures because you want to feel their texture, they're going to say, "Excuse me, you'll have to leave now," and the alarm will go off, and it's so embarrassing. So we don't touch other people's art. So we need to learn how to make texture that people can see so they don't touch our stuff. So that's what we started talking about in class today. But I really want you guys to think about just the things around your house and also stuff that you can do outside to make texture on your paper. And I think at the end of class when I said, "Now I want you to cut it up in a lot of pieces," probably felt kind of strange. Like, why would I cut up my artwork? Well, we're going to do that because we're going to make a collage. And a collage is when you take lots and lots and lots of pieces of paper and put them together in a new way. So, kind of like a puzzle. It's a picture, and you put it together. But in that, you have to follow the directions or else you're not going to have a picture at the end. Puzzles have to fit together. A collage, you're in charge of your own puzzle. So, that's what I mean. And we're going to make a collection of our colored paper, but you're going to make it. All right, that was a lot of words. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to make 3. I'm going to show you the texture tools that I found just from sitting around this art room, and I didn't get anything fancier than you could have anywhere in your house, let alone outside. I'll show you some of that stuff too. Okay, so I'm going to move this little camera guy right down here, and there's my list. Now, I had given you a sketchbook. Here's some of my texture papers. And you are welcome to color every page of this if you would like to for your texture collection. Or if you have bigger paper around, or even notebook paper works for this, you guys. You really can use anything. I mean, also, if you wanted to take construction paper, like colored paper, let's say you have a pack of orange paper around, you could always make your own orange paper on orange paper. Sounds strange, but it can be done. So for here, I just want to say, hey, you know what? This is what I have, right? We're waiting for that supply pickup, so come on, let's do this. All right, so here is where I'm going to fill some of my colors. I have my superhero crayons. Love these guys. These work the best to scratch texture in to our artwork, like we did in class, but you can use regular crayons too. You just have to press real hard like you are the strongest human in the universe, and your muscles are so big You don't even know how to stop them from pressing down so hard. Okay, so here's some of the things that I found. Ruler. Left over from Louise Nevelson. I found a popsicle stick. Clothespin. This might work. It's got some corners, anything like that. I'm thinking, oh, well, the scratch, what is going to scratch? Toothpick also was a part of your Nevelson packages. These hair clips I found in my drawer. I even found this tool. I think it's called an Allen wrench, but lots and lots of things that you buy, like furniture pieces, need this kind of like a screwdriver. I found it and I thought, this might work. The end of a paintbrush, that pointy end. Floss, toothpick. These are little flosser things. I even thought, wow, what about a pen? Like the end of a pen cap or a pen that doesn't work anymore. A fork. We talked about that one. And one of our amazing classmates thought about scissors. Only we talked about how to use them for not cutting and keeping them safe, but yet using them to make texture. So let me just try a couple quick ones and let's see what we do. I'm going to clear my workspace up a little bit. I do want you to have some of these in view. I think one of my favorite things to do is make the waterfall. But I am actually going to do a little bit of orange and yellow right now. Also, here's something that's super important, and we do this in the art room a lot. Oh, my yellow rolled away. Okay, that yellow I want to use, but it was so dirty. Ew, like I don't want to use a dirty yellow crayon because then my paper is going to be dirty. So sometimes you can break them in half. But other times you just peel that paper off and then you get this nice bright color. I'm going to actually go get that yellow crayon. That rolled away. Okay, here it is. I'm on the other side of my desk. Ah. Okay, so look at how dirty it is. Like, ew, I don't want to use that. So on another piece of paper, I'm going to clean it off. It's like washing your paintbrush, only you have to wash your crayon. Look at the difference. Pretty crazy. So you wouldn't paint with a dirty paintbrush. You're not going to color with a dirty crayon. Okay? All right. So I'm going to use this to show you that it works. Okay, I'm going through here. I want to find, oh, I took the orange out already. These two colors are neighbors. So I'm going to mix them together. And I'm just going to make like an area. You could make shapes if you want to. But I like to think of it as like a painter's palette. And I'm making and mixing all my own colors. And I'm just going to make this big like orange tornado on my paper. Oh, it's so windy and the wind is orange. And now I'm going to add yellow into it. Because yellow-orange is awesome. And every time you blend your own colors together, it becomes yours and only yours. No one else can ever do it the same. So I just made this, like, I love it. This could come out of a volcano in my jungle. This could be part of my tiger's fur. This could be the sun, lava, like, oh, so many possibilities that can happen in my collage later. So here we go. Let me try it. I'm going to first use my ruler. Hey, that works pretty well. And you see it? This little camera's a silly little thing, but it does work. Okay, so that worked. But I want to think about why I'm scratching it. Like, I'm not just scratching it just to make a mess. Like, I want to think about what could this be. If it's lava, maybe I want to take some big scratches out of it, like it's exploding out of the volcano. So there's that popsicle stick tongue depressor thing. That's making some great texture in my yellow orange. Here's my hair clip. You know, all this washes off. I mean, ask a grown-up, but you can totally use these things and then just wash them. Toothpick. Tiny little details like, this little spot of lava here is going to have some polka dots in it because lava has bubbles. So I'm thinking, oh, look at that. Can you see it? Can you see it? Love it. So you are making your own paper this way, you guys. It's awesome. Nobody's is going to be the same. So this is where I say, well, you know what? I'm going to do a real quick blue-purple for you. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to color a big purple people eater blob right here. And then I'm going to mix in a little bit of blue because I know they mix together well. Still using my superhero crayons. Ooh, that blue purple is pretty cool. And then maybe I could turn some of this into water later. This could just be, I mean, you can feel the temperature difference. Now I have this big cold blob that's trying to cover my fire blob. And now let's see. If I'm thinking, who knows? Just have fun with it. This is my fork. You can use a metal fork. You can use a plastic fork. Love this. It would make some, oops, sorry. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Whirlpool. Oh my goodness. Right? Some type of waves. Yeah. A tropical storm. So to get these cut out, all I'm going to do is take those scissors that also could make some texture. Look at that. And oh, I made a little scratch in my paper, which actually is a good happy accident. I'm cutting it out anyway, so I'm not going to stress about that. But another reason why, if you do use scissors, do not open them because the sharp edges will cut the paper and then you will have no paper. Okay, so I was just tearing these out of my sketchbook. I know that probably makes a terrible sound on the camera, but and while I have these handy dandy scissors, I am going to just cut out these blobby blobs that I made with my superhero crayons. And then you're probably saying, I know, Mrs. Nucci, you showed me this before. But hey, you know what? Boom, there's 1, 2, 3. So from that blob, I now have 3, plus I can add it to what I made earlier. Now I have 5 blue pieces of paper that I made myself that are going to be the most amazing water for my tiger to drink. And maybe his friends that are monkeys and flamingos. We hunted a little bit today and found a rhinoceros. And we counted, oh my goodness, how many lemurs did we count? Like 14? This I'm going to do a little different. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to say like, hey, maybe this one will just be like some kind of wackadoodle shape. Let's do it. Okay. So the more I make, the more I can use in my collage, okay? This doesn't, we don't have to go to the store for this or anything. I gave you these things at the beginning, and I want you to use them in new ways. And that's what's so great about art. It's not just, I have paint, I must do a painting. No, this isn't just for coloring, like putting that texture in. Remember these words. Can you get these textures in your paper so people can see it and they don't have to touch it? So that's what I'm hoping that we can be doing over the next week. Coloring, adding our texture, cutting them up so you have this really great supply of your own textured paper. Now, I would suggest asking a grown-up for a bag or a big Tupperware container. Right now, since I'm just right here on the camera, I am going to just tuck them into my sketchbook and fold them really, close my sketchbook carefully. And I'm just going to make sure that it stays flat. So I just keep track of them. That way, you know, if you sneeze, achoo, and all those papers go everywhere. You don't want to lose one after all this hard work. So keep them safe. It's like a collection. Make a collection and bring them with you next week. We're going to keep making these, and we're going to add that tiger in there, and we are going to have our own Henry Rousseau jungle painting. Okay, good job. Texture, texture, texture. You can find it all over your house. All right, I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Good job. All right. I'm going to turn over here and shut this camera off. All right. Bye, first graders.